What is up, Riskateers? Tonight we are practicing our round two for the Risk 2023 Season 1 World Championships. Hope all of you that have so far played in round one have done well and are happy with your results. We've still got tonight and tomorrow left of round one, so good luck to any of you that are still playing and have your game coming up on those Japan fixed settings. But we are in the new settings for round two, doing a practice. We'll go through all the settings, but this is just an unranked public capital conquest that we are playing to practice for round two. For those of you that know, round two will have Europe Advanced as the map. We'll be playing with blizzards and portals and semi-auto uh, troop placement, which we will talk about here in a second. What I hope to do is kind of tell you guys what I've learned through some of the practice games that I've been playing, stuff that I've seen happen, and then we will go through little strategies and tips that I've seen work or not work, and maybe you guys can throw in some of your opinions on stuff as we go. So we're looking at a Europe Advanced Blizzard map coming up here, and we've got to figure out our semi-auto troop placement. Now in semi-auto troop placement, it's different than manual troop placement because you don't place all of your troops one by one. Instead, you place all of your troops in one round. Now it's going to start with the second to last person in the rotation. They're going to get to place their troops first, and then it works all the way back around. And then the next time through, we all place our capital. So what I've noticed is the best strategy here is you want to find a place that's not only a little bit protected with blizzards, is always great when you're playing Europe Advanced because it's so hard to defend with all the different spots you have to defend. The other piece is you want to find a spot with a portal not too close because that just creates another guard that you have to have. So if you're looking at this map, Spain's great. You also have West Africa over here. West Africa is just really hard to take. It's a lot of countries to have to take, so I usually shy away from that. Iceland is kind of the Australia of this map. Everyone loves to be up here. I would guess, based off of no portals being up in Iceland or Great Britain, there's at least one, maybe two caps that get put up here. And I'm not completely against doing that. I would consider in this scenario doing that because I at least have two countries up here or two territories up here. So we're working our way around. There's kind of two general schools of thought. Spreading out some of your troops to two or three different territories to build, or so that you have some options when you have to place your capital. You'll notice I can't see all the other countries or all the other territories at this point and who the owner is. You don't get to see that until we go to the capital phase. I'm going to pick down here in Spain and put my 8. I put them all in one spot. My logic on that is even if someone else puts their cap down here in Spain, which is possible in this scenario, I'm going to have the maximum number of troops. I'm going pretty early in the rotation in third, so I have a pretty good shot of getting the early jump on someone if they do put their capital and all their troops there. But any chance they don't put all their troops there gives me a big advantage. Okay, so now we're in the fog setting, so I can see all of the adjacent territories to my territories, and I am so highly surprised that no one put their cap up here. Really interesting. Or sorry, someone will put their cap up here. Pink will put its magenta will put its cap up here. I guess it didn't because it already went and its cap's not there. Orange keeps saying oops, and I don't know what it's in reference to. So one little pro tip I have, during this phase of the game, it's a great time to write down any of the caps that you see because you're going to lose a lot of this vision as the game goes, as these territories get conquered and the fog starts to take over the game a little bit for you. So write them down. Right now I can see nobody's cap, which is very interesting. Likely means that we're seeing a lot of caps either in this area, down here, Italy and Northwest Africa, or over in the Orient. There's a lot of blizzards over in the Orient, which means there might be multiple caps, which is great because they're going to be competing with each other. So the way caps works, we're in round 1. You have 3 rounds before capital mode becomes activated, and the whole game is who can get all 6 caps at the same time. This doesn't always mean that you have to actually take out all your opponents. Theoretically, you could grab all 6 caps while everybody's still in the game, but that's a pretty rare situation. The only time I usually see that happening is maybe in a three player in game is probably the most people available. So blue is setting up here in Northwest Africa, as you can see. You really want to pay attention when you're playing with fog, where people are playing and what they're looking at. And him being in Northwest Africa is good for me because I have this nice blizzard here separating us. So hopefully he'll push here east and try to get North Africa. Really unlikely he tries to take West Africa originally, but it's possible that that's what he does because I guess there's no portals, so it's possible that that's what he decides he wants to go after. So he takes a 7 through a portal over here, and he's going to actually work in the Orient, which makes more sense. Didn't think he was going to come over here. Okay, so blue is maybe just an over attacker is maybe what we're learning here. He's attacking in Northwest Africa. He's also done some attacking in the Orient through this portal. So probably not something I can capitalize on right now. I cannot believe a cap did not get put up here in Iceland, Great Britain. This may be the first game I've seen through all my practice rounds that no one capped out here without portals. So that's really interesting how that ended up getting played. It means there's probably one here in France. And if not, all the caps are on one side of the board, and that's not my side of the board. Which the positive of that is I'm probably not going to have a lot of fighting to do over on my side of the board. The negative of that, I got to go through a lot of people to try to get control of caps. So I think that's probably better overall in turn if I was having my druthers on which one I would want. Okay, so we are now on red's turn. Even all the portals are at one troop, which, except for over in Russia, we've got 9 troops there. That's pretty interesting to see it this late in the game that no one's guarding or building on portals. I guess we're still pretty early in the game. We're just in round 1. Okay, so red's got 16. That's a pretty big troop. It's a lot of material. I think he's moving to use this back corner of the map and build out a Scandinavia, which is not my favorite thing to see, except he pulls back down. So he's working on taking Germany here. You can see Germany's these 6 countries, or 6 territories for 5 points. He's got Prussia left to take. See if he goes 3 on 1. I'm guessing his cap is right here. That's why we're not seeing it, and that's why he doesn't have a lot of troops outside of it. He left them all back in here. Okay, so red's going to be a big competitor for me. He's going to potentially block me off from the rest of the board, so we'll see how that goes. Red is Sylvian Melee, a novice according to these rankings. Could be an alt account that someone's practicing on. A lot of people do that during practice, so you can't always trust those. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on clearing out Spain, put a nice guard on it, end our attack phase. I think in Europe Advanced, if you can get your bonus set up on round 1, you have a huge advantage. The other big way to grab troops in Europe Advanced is just to get a bunch of territories. There are a lot of territories available. It's one of the biggest maps in Risk. So you have the opportunity to get some bonus troops just by having extra territories. If you have less than 12 territories, you get 3 bonus troops to start the turn. If you have 12, you get 4, and so on. So the more territories you have, you get more troops at the start of your turn, which is a nice advantage and can really work in Europe Advanced if you use that strategy well. I think my next move is probably to start working on Iceland and Great Britain, but I don't love that there's a 4 stack here that I would have to go through. Blue is laughing, which usually means he's mad at somebody, which in this case should be orange. And in Risk, it's usually in your favor if 2 of your opponents are mad at each other, so you kind of just lay low and let that happen. While I got a little bit of time here before my next turn, we can take a look. I can show you my results from my first round and what happened there. So I'm going to show you this real quick. This is my first round. Um, I finished with 20. I won the game and I got 3 bounties. Colgate got 11 points, which I'm really happy about because I kind of ruined his game. I kept breaking him over and over throughout the game, so I felt kind of bad. So I'm happy that he got 11 out of it. He's definitely got a chance to do something with that as he moves on the tournament. It was a really good game in Japan. Um, it was a fast game. We probably played for 40 minutes, which I've heard some people's round one games going for hours. So it was a fast game. Worked out really well. I got a good true placement, so I had a great opportunity to win that one. Let's go back over to see what's happening and make sure all of my troops aren't gone. We still got Spain, so we're okay. So round two settings, as you guys see, and I can pull them up um, over here. We're in Capital Conquest, Europe Advanced. It's a semi-auto setup. It's actually 60-second turn timer. I've been doing 120 for the practice rounds. I probably should drop that back down to 60, but I've just been doing that to help people kind of figure out what they're doing, give people a little extra time to think. I think that's nice in practice games, but I'll probably move it to 60 so I get a little better feel of what that's going to be like for the tournament. They have not announced second round games again. There's still another day left of round one. So once that's over, we should get to hear our second round groupings. So it should be exciting. Let's take a look at a couple. This is green here. Rance King is listed as a beginner. Again, could be an alt account. You see that a lot in these practice games. General Bala listed as a novice. We already did Sylvian. General Law, beginner. And General Brombat, novice. So again, these could be people's alt accounts that they're playing with just to get their practice rounds in. So Magenta did a little attacking up here in Iceland, which we love. That pulled down that 4 and gives us a chance to maybe take that on the next turn and try to hold a second bonus. I don't know how much is out here. I know Red spent a lot of troops clearing out Germany, so hopefully they don't have anything up in Scandinavia. So we'll probably try to take Iceland on the next turn, do a split guard to some degree, and try to hold that for a second bonus, which would be perfect. If you're getting a bonus around, then you're doing really, really well. So highly recommend shooting for that. Obviously, that usually doesn't happen the whole game. So some of the strategy and tips for this board specifically, usually these blizzards are sitting somewhere in Central Europe, so you're seeing part of the board cut off. This is a really weird one where they're all over on one side, first of all, and then they're on the very edges of the map. They really didn't create too much of a choke to the map. They just kind of split this edge off, which I guess caused all the caps to be put over here. And when you're working through Europe Advanced, you want to just check for a couple of things. So one, up here in Denmark, it doesn't actually touch Berlin. Common mistake people make that they think they can attack from here to here. They don't touch. So you've got to go from Rhine to Denmark if you're going to attack. And then also in what is the Crimea, Sevastopol, it is actually only connected to Donetsk. You can't attack from anywhere else. So again, it creates a problem sometimes when people are making a run. They don't see it and they just think that that's going to be connected, but it's not quite connected. So a couple of things to watch out for there in those two. A little bit tricky when you're looking at the Europe Advanced map. Okay, so red is building where we don't want him to build, which is what I thought was going to be the problem. He's wanting to take France, but he hasn't even taken Germany yet, or what is called Central Europe on this map as a continent. So he's trying to take Western Europe now, and I'm not cool with that. So we will see what we want to do there. I don't know that I really want to waste troops attacking him. I don't think he's going to get 12 or anything anytime soon. So we're going to stick to our plan. And I think I'll split here. I'm going to leave 5 on his bigger spot for magenta. Try to convince him, instead of coming out of Scandinavia to me, to maybe go back down into red, because red is going to be my problem for this entire game. No question about it. Okay, so orange is getting 9 troops. Means he's got a continent, and it's likely right here in southeastern Europe, those 4 troops that he's getting, in addition to the 5 to start the turn, would be my best guess. Green may have Russia, which Russia is a 4 guard right now. You've got to have these 2 down here and your portal of Russia. So you've got South Russia, Rostov, and Kharkiv that you would have to have. But I'm guessing there's a cap somewhere in here. We didn't see it when we had the portal, so we know it's not here. So maybe down in this area is a cap. Maybe right here is a cap. This is the fewest caps I've been able to see in the early game phase so far in any of my practice rounds. And everyone seems to be coming the opposite way of the caps, which is really interesting. So orange is going to drop back down. But red, orange, pink, and I are all up here, and I think all the caps are over here. So maybe there are a couple down here. Would explain it better. Hard to explain why everyone's spending troops up this way if they know their caps in a different direction. So I know mine's here. I'm projecting red's got his some right here in Germany in Rhine. It's possible pink is somewhere up here. I don't think so. I think I've seen that area. He is going to hit me really hard with his 15. That is unfortunate. And it's something you see maybe in a practice game, but really rare in a tournament game. That's one of the reasons I like playing on these kind of settings. I've got a non-ranked manual game that I'm playing right now, which usually causes people to take it pretty seriously in terms of playing like it's a tournament and not playing just like any other ranked game. But that kind of stinks. So now I am cornered by red with pink cornering up top. So my strategy here is probably to move into a different direction outside of Spain and hopefully force red and magenta to fight each other. So at this point, I'm going to take a look at some other options. One of the options I have is to get this sneaky 4 in the Dinaric Alps. This 4 is a real big game changer a lot of times. On Europe Advanced, you take 3 territories. You have to have 3 guards. They all 3 have to be guards. But you get 4 troops. And again, we've got everybody moving to Northwest Europe, even though I think all the caps are on the other side. What did green get this turn? Let's take a look. So you can pay attention to how many troops people are getting. That's 12 troops for green, which means they almost definitely have the Russian Empire, which is 7, plus 5 for just their overall territories. Green is getting a big chunk of troops. I think I'm in a bad spot right now, and I need to move to where red and pink fight each other, and maybe even green. I know red's here in Central Europe. I know that pink is up in Scandinavia, Iceland, and Great Britain. So I think I hold here and I start building down so that I can get away from all this chaos that's going on over here. I haven't seen much from Blue. I don't know exactly what he's doing. He may be in the Orient, uh, or he may be up here in West Africa. So I think my next move is to. It's going to be depending on what red does here. I really don't want red to come at me also. That would be unfortunate. I would like red to go up at magenta. Now, him taking that basically tells me I'm not going to try to take the Dinaric apps. I'm going to come down through Italy and Southern Europe and maybe find a nice home here if it exists in West Africa. I don't have really another shot besides just beating up on red, and I don't really want to start that war. I play these like I'm really playing in a tournament game. The last thing I want to do is have an early exit because I lost my cool about something. Okay, so I'm gonna move my 4 here. I'm gonna leave it there. Orange is laughing at me because he's mad about something. I really don't want to upset anybody, but we will see what happens here. I'm just trying to kind of get out of dodge right now is my plan. Red laughs at orange. Everyone seems to think something very funny is happening. I can't see enough to really know what they're going after. Um, my guess, as most practice rounds, this area over here in West Africa ends up usually just being a mess, especially if there's a portal nearby. It just ends up being a mess. No one really has control of it, so that's kind of why I'm headed down there. It's because I think it might be an area that I can hide for a little while. Because all these guys are playing super aggressive games. Um, Pink, red, orange, even green. Green's come out of Russia and come this way. So they're all kind of hitting the head right now. Magenta up here, red here, orange here, green here. They're all going to hit each other hard. I'd like to be down here where nobody wants to be um, fighting me. This is a little unlike a tournament game. It is possible that some of these guys are actually novice or beginners that are just looking for some unranked games, so that's unfortunate. Most of these games that I've been playing have been against mostly tournament level players. So this one does not seem to be, and so I'm not getting a real good feel for what I would have expected to see here. All right, so magenta hopefully starts making red mad is the goal. That's our strategy, is to get people mad at each other. Works out well sometimes. Okay, so magenta uses a portal attack to go take orange out of North Africa. Again, these are just super aggressive game moves that are happening right now. They're kind of hard to explain. Okay, so he went on another portal attack. Or, yeah, he's still attacking. If you're wondering when you're in fog if someone's attacking or just waiting, you can watch the dice here in this little circle, and it tells you if they're rolling or not. It's a little tip there for keeping track when you can't see exactly what's going on the attacking side. Okay, so you'll notice I didn't actually take all of what is called Southern Europe on this map, what we would call Italy, which is basically Italy, because I didn't want anyone to feel the need to break me there. I'm just trying to kind of lay low with these extra troops. I'm using my nice guard in Spain to hopefully hold off that corner of the board. And maybe at some point these guys will all kill each other enough that that'll start to open up and I can take advantage of it. But green is building just in what the Russians would call a nice iron curtain right here, I think. Out of Russia, he's got a ton of troops and he just keeps pushing his way across Europe. We're now in round 3, so capital mode is activated right after this turn. You'll notice This little icon up here will change from round 3 to say who's in the lead, who has the most caps. One screen actually fortifies, which he's taking a long time to decide how to do it. We'll get to see that soon. Okay, so now capital mode's active. The leader has 1 out of 6, which basically means we all have our own caps at this point. Nobody has made the progress to grab someone else's cap yet, which is almost always the case at this point in the game. So now the middle game starts, and we see blue attack magenta. So blue is maybe really heavy in West Africa, which is not what I was hoping for. I was really hoping that it was just kind of unclaimed at this point. It's weird because North Africa is unclaimed, yet blue is fighting in West Africa, and that is the much tougher continent to take control of. I think my game is still to go down there, even though I have to go through a 3. Or I work on North Africa. So this is North Africa, you get 3 points here for 5, but you got 3 guards you got to do on 5 territories. Now the portal is on a guard, so if a portal is on a territory that would normally be a guard, then it really doesn't affect you too much, except that more people can attack it. But it doesn't change how many territories you have to have extra troops on because of that. So that doesn't hurt too badly. So I'm trying to decide how to approach that. I'd like to know if blue really has all of West Africa. It seems unlikely. Now red may be going to break my Spain, which would really stink. I want him to attack magenta, but he attacks me instead for some reason. Okay. So Spain is in trouble. I am in trouble. He only leaves a 3 guard there. And maybe he wants to be buddy-buddy and a good neighbor? I don't know. I don't know why he won't attack magenta. It's weird that he didn't go take back his continent. Okay, so I'm getting 9. I think the game is to come back here, break red. Yeah, see, he broke me, but he literally didn't even take his own continent. So that is interesting gameplay to say the least. So, unfortunate. You can't project what everybody's going to do, obviously. Um, but we will try to adjust. Orange is tired of green having everything, so he is going at green to probably try to break his Russian Empire. I still have only seen my capital so far in this game, which is usually a really, really bad sign. Okay, magenta is getting 14 because red refuses to attack or break him. Magenta, I guess, will come after me also. I don't know exactly where these 14 are going to go. I guess they're going in North Africa, but they're going in a portal maybe, so they can move them around. I think magenta's end game is to take out red up here. He's just getting way too many troops for me to be able to compete with him. So he does. He actually does go for the North Africa play, which is what I was considering doing before blue blocked me off and red broke me. So that's interesting. He's going all the way over to the Orient, to that portal, but he keeps going through the Orient. maybe in hopes of breaking green, which is great. You need your opponents attacking each other, breaking each other. That's all the good stuff. That's what we hope for sure. Okay, so magenta, we'll see maybe if he fortifies with those guys. Our leader of caps is 2 of 6. My best guess would be that magenta just took one over here somewhere in the Orient when he was on that warpath there, taking out blue. I think blue is rather weak over here in West Africa. Green puts 12, likely going to rebuild Russia. Whoever's taking it from him, he's cleaning that back up. Shouldn't be a threat to me at this point. Red is still my biggest problem. I said that from the start that he was going to be the biggest problem, and he still is. Let's see, what did Green get? The 5 troops this time, so he probably just got his territory bonus. No continent bonus. Orange and Green have not been friends this entire game. And I'm also wondering if Orange is maybe down to his end. A tricky part about Fog, when you're playing in a tournament, you get points for bounties. Obviously, your first 2 bounties, you get 3 points. Your next bounty, you get 2 points. And then your 4th and 5th bounty are worth 1 point apiece. So it's a little tricky in Fog to figure out what you have to do to get someone's bounty because you can't see if they have some hidden troops in different places. So you almost guess a little bit on it. I'm considering guessing. Orange only has 1 card, so even if I guess right, it's almost 0 value, except that I would get the bounty for a tournament point. Blue and magenta are not friends. So right now I've got orange and green are not friends, and blue and magenta are not friends, and I guess red and I aren't friends. So we kind of have 3 pairs of enemies playing in this game. In general, you don't want one of those. Having an enemy in a game is not good. And they really don't happen as much in tournaments because people's personal just trying to get a revenge and happy to ruin their own game to ruin somebody else's like kamikaze style is not really the same in tournament play. But you definitely see that in these friendly matches. Holding my breath here for red. Let's see if he still wants to just keep coming at me. He got 5 troops. He can get up to 7 on that territory. I don't know why he continues just to keep coming back at me instead of going at magenta, but maybe that's what he's doing again. What I'd like to see is him go break. He may have the same guess that I do, that orange is down to his very last few territories because he's been getting beat up by orange the last few turns. I may go for orange just to see what I can hit. I'm not going to get a lot of troops, so I don't have like a huge opportunity to go after him. I'm going to put 2 here to stay ahead of orange or stay ahead of red for now. And I'm going to go hit some orange and try to get lucky. Ah, I did not get lucky. So there you go. Green may be protecting orange. That's the trick of playing in fog. You just don't know where they're at. So, okay. We at least got to see a little more of the map, but we are in big trouble in terms of overall number of troops here, as you guys likely can tell. I'm gonna. Okay, so orange had a pretty big troop stack over here, so I was maybe being a little naive thinking that he was anywhere close to the end. But luckily he didn't get mad at me. He came back at green and rebuilt his continent here in Southeastern Europe. All right, magenta is spending all of his troops Maybe trying to make a cap run? I don't know. Or he's trying to take out blue. You get one card. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense what Magenta's doing. He's got the most troops by far, so he has the opportunity to make some mistakes and still be okay in this game. But he is coming at blue pretty hard right now. And I don't know exactly what his end game is. Because blue has one card, it may just be that blue has upset him so many times. I really don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Magenta and red have played very interesting games. Magenta has enough troops to kind of do what he wants to do. My best guess is orange is down to just this little area, Turkey and Greece. Magenta is all of Scandinavia, Great Britain, and Iceland. Also, he now has, I think, the Orient. I know he probably has just part of the Orient and North Africa. Blue is limited down here. I don't know how much of it he has. We'll see on his next turn how many troops he gets. That'll give us a pretty good idea of how many he has over there. Don't know what Magenta's doing. I'm watching the dice to see if it moves, and it's not. And again, that's kind of a tip in fog. Some people think that they're getting away with tricking you into thinking they're attacking a lot by just holding like this. But if the dice don't move over here, then that means they're not attacking. They're just waiting. So I'm not sure what was going on there with Magenta. All right, so Green's over here. He's got the Russian Empire. He's got 12 troops, which means he's got his Russian Empire built back up. He got his 25. He's almost certainly taking out Orange because he's been working on him for like 10 turns. So he's going to clean him up, probably take him out and get his 2 cards here. I am not in a position to win this game, so I am in a position that I want to not be in last place, which I'm not. And I'm going to just look for any low-hanging fruit type bounties that might help me out as we go here. So orange is out. Green has Russia, Southeastern Europe, probably these 2 inlays here. Magenta has the Orient over here, North Africa. West Africa is at least mostly blue. And then Magenta also has Iceland, Great Britain, and Scandinavia. So he's getting a ton of troops every turn. Blue is taking back North Africa. Or sorry, West Africa. And he might be breaking Magenta because they do not like each other. I know that red's just in here. I don't have enough troops and he's about to get 5 cards. So based off of red's actions so far in this game, he's going to put them all right here on Paris and come right at me for some reason. We'll see. What he should be doing is breaking some of this Magenta to give himself some space. But we'll see what he does. He's got 5 cards. We are currently only at 12 for cards. Let's see what red does. I'm guessing all of them go right here. And he doesn't hit this Magenta, he just hits me for some reason. Okay, yep, here we go. Yep, all of them go on Paris as expected. Now he's going to come at my 9 instead of ever hitting that 1, which is just unexplainable, but whatever. So he's going to take me out of Spain and basically end my game. No, he doesn't even break me. He just leaves Spain. So he's attacking Magenta. You can see again the dice moving down here. You'll see him flip from the 1 to 3 dice. That tells you that there's attacking going on over here. We're at 40 minutes in this game. Most of my practice games with the round 2 settings have gone about 45 minutes. Again, I have that little longer timer on. I'll drop that down the next time I practice to get a more realistic idea. But I like that longer timer in practice just so everyone's getting used to the settings and figuring out what to do. Red is attacking quite a bit, so hopefully he took out a bunch of magenta. That would be kind of a best case scenario for me. I don't know how hard to hold on to Spain. Red didn't break me, so I don't really want to break him. So I'm gonna go like this and see if I can just convince him not to mess with me. And maybe come here and try to get one more bonus and see if Red and I can be buddies right here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna give him the old fist bump. See if I get anything back from him. Nothing from Red. Okay. Well, we're going to try that route. I don't have a lot of other options anyway. So we're going to intern there. And we're going to see how long that holds. I would love for Red to come at Magenta more. Red's a little bit acting as my buffer for Magenta up here. Magenta is likely going to take Blue out this turn based off of what he's been doing recently. He's been coming at him pretty hard. I don't know how many troops Blue has, but I think Magenta will come at him here. And maybe Magenta breaks me, but I don't think he cares. Yeah, so he's just taking out as much blue as he can. I guess he broke them. Just wanted to see what was there. I don't know. Maybe there's a lot of blue troops on his cap down there. I don't know. I don't know, but Magenta's playing a very interesting game, and he is sending some troops back up to Scandinavia. All right, Green is now maybe the troop leader because Magenta has made some really weird game plays. Green hopefully will head south out of the Russian Empire through Magenta. That would be the best case scenario for me. But so far he has been playing east to west across Europe, so likely he's going to start coming. Oh, he does not add any troops there. That is perfect with me. Means he's attacking Magenta down here or over here. We may see green pop up in this portal. There it is. Okay. So green goes through Magenta. That is lovely because those are your two leaders right now in this game. We want them attacking each other and hitting each other. I'm considering whether if I hold my position, which would be great, if I get to hold my two continents, I'm considering putting all four down, or adding them all to this four down here and trying to take blue out of the game and getting my 2 points for a bounty and his 3 cards at the time. I do not have cards to turn in, but if I took him out, I would get to turn in turn, which would give me my first real opportunity in this game to have any kind of options. But it all starts with Red. Hopefully Red and I are good. We're buddies now, and he will not come at me, and we're just leaving these borders, but he's adding currently to that as I speak. He only adds 2, so that's a little more protective. I don't think he's going to break me. He has not shown a propensity to want to break me, so hopefully that will stay. Yeah, so he goes at a big Magenta, and this game has taken a turn for the much more positive for Mitch, which I love. So red goes at Magenta, green goes at Magenta. Magenta's going to hate both of their guts. I get my 2 continents, potentially. I think red and magenta are just really new players to the game. It's my best guess. They're both a little bit over attacking, a little bit all over the place. Okay, so we've got 15. We don't get cards, but I think we play a risky game here. Unintended. We go try to find any blue we can. There we go. So we get the bounty, we get 3 cards. We get to turn in cards. We've got a chance to potentially take magenta off this end of the board and butt up next to green. Everyone's been attacking magenta, so it makes me feel not as like he's probably gonna just come at me for that. So magenta's definitely still up here. There's no way I'm getting his bounty. I think I leave it there as kind of a guard. And I move all these back to that portal, which I get to use to protect West Africa. I don't think magenta builds again here. I think magenta builds again up here because he doesn't have anything, which makes him have to come through red first. He's getting 25. He's mad at everyone. It will be interesting to see how he plays this. Only putting 2 there seems like a positive sign. Okay, so he is coming back at red, which I kind of suspected. He breaks me also because he's mad about me breaking him, but he doesn't bring me all the way to West Africa, which again is a sign of probably a newer player. Green's got 30. Green is not a newer player. Green is a good player that has figured this out. He's got 60 troops. He can take out anybody he wants to take out, really, in this turn. My total troop count is 63. I think what he does is he probably takes out magenta here and then comes over to a port. Maybe uses that portal. Okay, so use that portal to go bring magenta up there, which is interesting. It's working out really well for me that everyone's kind of attacking magenta instead of me. He knows that magenta still has an 8 in the portal, so he won't be able to take him out because he only has 5 in a portal. He's still rolling again. You can see his dice moving down here, so he's attacking. Hopefully all of this right now is green going through magenta. Again, I didn't really see myself as in a winning position likely in this game. Yeah, this is interesting. I don't know what green's end game is here. He just tries to take out as much as he can, I guess. So I wonder if we're down to 2 magenta territories. This portal here, which I have the best, well, I have troops next to it. Everyone's got a kill line because it's a portal. And then we've got these 2 territories here. I don't know. I don't think green's got any that guarded in any way. So red's got these territories. He may have quite a few still on his cap, which I am suspecting is here. Green was just trying to get to do a cap run, I guess, was what was happening. I should have figured that out. So he was trying to get down here to my cap. Because he's at 4 of them. And I still have not seen any other caps besides mine in this game. Which is probably a really bad sign. And maybe why I'm saying that I wasn't really in a position to win this game at any point. But I'm just kind of at the point where I am trying to manage it the best I can. Yeah, I'm definitely going to update my timer because it has made it way too long. You're right. Okay, red goes big back in his favorite old Central Europe. His plan should be to take out Magenta, but I don't think it is based off what he's doing. He's going to build some territories or build some continents. So at this point in the game, building continents is not really the key. The key right now is cards. You want to take out people to get cards. I've got to trade in here for 40. I'm going to take out Magenta, hopefully. Put in like 25 because I'm going to be in a portal, so I'll have some room to work from that. Then I'm going to attack here so I can take out the rest of Magenta, hopefully. So I get my second bounty of the game, which is great. The next bounty is probably red, but I'm going to play it a little differently because I'm going to try to play to win, I guess, now that it's gotten to this point. Green has been a dominant player this whole game, so I think I'm just going to go and try to break him as much as I can. Yeah, so now I'm getting to see all the capitals, which is nice. So we've got 2 on this side, 1 here. I think I break red as much as I can. Then I come up here and I make sure green's not getting any cheapies. So I know that I'm the only one with continents now. I put the pressure back on kind of them to figure out how to make it all work. I'm going to put some extra on this cap because I think that's where they're going next. So red's got 2 cards. I know he's not getting cards next turn. Green's got 3. He did get cards, so that stinks. That makes it a little bit tough. You're kind of hoping for that not to happen, but he gets cards on 3. I don't have cards on 3 on my next turn, so it's gonna probably come down between green and I. Green's gonna come back at me hard because I just hit him hard. He doesn't have any way to attack this cap, so even if he makes a great run here and gets 5 of the caps, he can't get to this because he's only got a 1, or he's got a 1 block here. But he's going to spend all his troops, I think, just breaking me, which is fine. That's kind of expected there. I maybe should have made a run at red. Would have been the smarter move. I just maybe didn't have the right mentality in this game once I got put in a bad spot to actually finish these guys off. So we'll see. Green doesn't go at red at all. He wants to keep him as an ally, so he's just breaking me everywhere he can and only attacking me. And building, no, he should be building back these continents. Yeah. Okay, so green basically rebuilds everything. He breaks me everywhere. I don't have cards to turn in. I'm in a really tough spot. I don't see a way that I get back into that. I think my best option would be red just to go at green for me would be really nice of him. I don't see him doing that. I think I just got to break green again as much as I can. I'll get cards next before green, so it's about kind of staying alive right now. Red is doing some interesting attacking, as he has all game. Okay, so I get my small bonus. Red has now made it harder for me to break green, which is just annoying. But I'm going to do my best anyways. I'm going to come over here, take this cap, make sure I'm breaking. I'm going to come up here so I can use the portal. Don't know what all these guys have up here. Okay. I can end it there. And I'm gonna fortify. I'll put these guys back in the portal. No, I'm not gonna put him there because he's got a giant stack on that cap. Okay, so now I think I've seen all 6 caps at least, so that's good news. Green's getting 17, mostly based off of his territories. He finally breaks me down here, maybe gets to this cap finally. Yeah, he finally gets to that cap. I will be in a great position to take that back next turn. The question is, do I do that or do I try to? Well, it'll depend on if red turns in cards. If red doesn't turn in cards, the game is won by somehow taking out red. I don't know if I'll have enough troops, but that certainly helps. I would love for green to take out as much red as possible here. And then I think I go all in on getting red out. He got 16 troops though. Hopefully he does a bunch of over attacking. So if I take out red, well, I have cards, so I get 50. If I take out red, it should be another 55. But if I don't take out red, I lose the game. So kind of gets tricky. The good news is red's been over attacking all game, so hopefully he wastes a bunch of troops on green here. Alright, we're gonna do our best to take out red. Let's see how it goes. Red has bought it, okay. So here we go. I'm not gonna get there, guys. This is a sad day. Okay, I got this 5 in the portal that I can use, but it's just not quite enough. Shoot, so I lose. I guess I play it out, huh? Ah, so close yet so far away. Alright, that stinks. Okay, I think green takes it. He's only got 1, or he's got 2 caps to get. What's the other one? Do I have 2? Oh yeah, okay, so right there where red was. Alright, the good news is green doesn't get cards. How many did he get in troops? He got 20 troops, so I've got 51 troops left. He's got 4 caps. The good news is a lot of his troops are sitting on caps, so he can't use a lot of them for attacking. Okay. And green is botting? Or just really thinking it through, maybe. Now, in the tournament game, it'd be interesting because he could easily go get the caps right here. But there's a big value in getting these extra 2 bounties. So it'd be interesting to see how he would play it in a real tournament game scenario. If he would try to take out these additional bounties. I think he is, because he did not go after this bounty over in Russia. He didn't go after either, and he didn't even break me on all of them. So interesting. Red maybe gets cards. If doesn't, then I still have hope. Ah, he has cards, of course. Wah wah. So red comes at me hard probably because he's still mad at me. Because I tried to kill. Oh, he's a bot. He's a bot. So your guess is as good as mine where red's going here. Red has been a territory building or a continent building bot most of this game. Okay. Nice if red would break a lot of green, but he's attacking super slowly. Love that he went at that 16. Don't love that he's about to break me. Oh, no, he's still building. All right, guys. 31. I don't have enough to take out red still, I'm sure. I think what I do is I try to cause as much havoc as I can to green still. So let's see what we can do here. No, he doesn't have that. Take out that. Mm, Go just as far as we can. Got a portal here. Better have that. Take out that one. Okay, I think I've done about as much damage as I can. Alright, green's gonna break me a little bit. Okay, so red still got a huge stack there. Let's see if I got cards on 3. What do you guys think? No cards on 3. Green's almost become more of a fish than red at this point. I think I just got to keep going at green though, in hopes of just limiting his ability in this game. He's going to get cards next turn. I definitely don't have enough. Be nice if red hit that 7 right there. Yeah, love that. Still don't think I have enough to take green out of the game, but definitely better than not having that. So we're going to build here, try to get green out of this central area, try to get green out of this area. Just try to pull them back as much as we can. Like 15 there, something like 8 there. And we break them here. Okay. Here we go. Okay, take that out, break them down here as best we can. Okay, and then we are going to clean up this little area, which is always problematic in Europe Advanced. We got that cleared out. Now we got our portal that we can do a little more damage with. Probably take red out of this area. Okay, we're gonna just keep War of Attrition style, taking out as many of these as we can. Green likely gets troops here, or gets cards for something like 70 troops, 60 troops. Yep, he gets his 60. That's gonna make this tough. Um, okay, so he's working his way back out. That's why we try to pinch him in a little bit to give him some fewer options. He's gonna go portal to portal here just to cause as much damage as possible, which is a smart move. I really need some cards. I have to waste a Joker. Red could potentially also have cards, which would be wild. I still think my game is him not getting cards here and trying to take red out of the game. Still my best way to win. Let's see if he has cards. No, he doesn't. Perfect. Okay, so I think the game is just trying to take out red in this next turn. We know he's located all up in here. Would love for him to hit this 16. Yeah, that's perfect. Classic bot. So we should have enough to come up through here, through Scandinavia, take red out. That should give us enough troops to either take out green or all but take out green from that point. Let's see if we can do it. Red is almost out of possible attacks that he can do. He's fully spread himself. Takes my cap. Okay, so we're going to work from here through Scandinavia, Great Britain, Iceland, back through Great Britain and down, and then I can even end down here, clearing out Spain, hopefully, from green. So let's see what happens here. Oh, red still had more attacking he could do because he got to that portal. Okay. That is going to make it a little bit tougher on me because I won't have those extra troops. Okay, so now I think the attack starts here, goes through this portal. Yeah, that's great. He took out some of his troops. Through here, through this portal, 3 to that. Ooh. Here, through that portal. Yeah, that's the way to go. Okay. Get our cards. We're going to try to do this fast. Start here, work through the portal, come back up to Scandinavia, come out of Scandinavia, work around Great Britain, finally get rid of red, which has been a pain in my side since the start of this game. Get us 4 cards, which allows me to turn in. Those 63 will take out the rest of those quite easily. Everything else is really close to a portal, I think. So I can hit here, here, and then down and around. That's what I'll do. Okay, let's try to clear out green. Oh, but I want to make sure I leave the cap for my last attack. So leaving the cap for your last attack is how you make sure you maximize bounty points when you're playing in a tournament. Okay, we got a cap down here we could have used too. Okay, so we're going to leave like that. Come across. It's great. Then we're going to clear out up here and take our cap to win and the last bounty at the same time. All right, so that is a round 2 practice. My next round 2 practice I'll do with shorter times for turns, so hopefully it'll move faster. This one went an hour and 10, which is the longest round 2 practice I've done so far. Hopefully you guys learned something. Hopefully it'll help you prepare as you move through the tournament. Good luck in your guys' games, and we'll see you on our next Twitch stream. I'll try to do another practice sometime tomorrow.